Hello, hello, good people. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Shauna. Welcome, everyone, especially to all the new folks to the page. Please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And then also for everyone, like and share the information, share the page with family, friends, coworkers, students, whomever. Share the page because I try my best to give you informative information that you need to know. Down below, you can find the correct spelling of my name, my IG information. Throughout the week, if you just want to get a little pop of news to get caught up and you don't necessarily have time to sit down and watch a whole news segment, pop onto my IG page, okay? Trust me, I will have the information there for you. And then lastly, you have my Cash App information there because, you know, I'm good at what I do. It's $1111 Oracle because I be knowing. And then if you want to bless a sister, bless a sister. We truly appreciate it. Okay, we truly appreciate you supporting the page. I'm getting tongue-tied. Let me slow down. Okay. First thing I want to share with you that we found out this week, Satan Yahoo was successfully treated for prostate cancer. Damn. Actually, you remember when Florida Evans, when the grief finally hit her that James had passed away, and she was in the kitchen and she was holding that big punch bowl, and she dropped it on the floor and she was like, damn, damn, damn. That's how I feel about Satan Yahoo successfully being treated for prostate cancer. Moving right along. The felon and RFK do not know how to do math. They do not know how to do math. They were talking about 600% from 100, and then you take it away and then you add it back in. Literally, like, they don't know how to do math, okay? Then also, in case you missed it, RFK Jr., he likes to collect the genitals of rodents. Rodents. What he does with them after, we don't know. And it's a scary thought. It's a scary, scary thought to think of what he might be doing with them afterwards. But like I shared with you last week, yeah, he's around here cutting off rodents' penises and collecting them. Now, this is a little more serious. Up to 15 scientists have either died or come up missing. 15 scientists in the US. And then I also saw a video about scientists, I believe I want to say it's China. What's going on with the scientists? Now, a lot of the scientists in America are actually from New Mexico. And they're leaving purses, phones, keys, things like that, like things that they would never leave, and wandering out, and then they're never seen again. Or like the last two were a father and son, and it was an airplane crash, I believe. What is this? What is this? I have my theories, but I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. But here's what I will say. I want to tell you that if you look at what's happening with education and how this regime is pushing us further and further away from people being highly educated, and then you have scientists here who are highly educated, and they're disappearing. They're going away. So you kind of have a bunch of dumb folks and nobody to educate them. That's what I'm seeing right now. I'll give you an example. The young, also industry, money. There's the young lady, there's a young lady, she was working out of Alabama. What she was working on is energy. And she was working on, I can't remember if she was using like the gravitational pull, or there was something that's completely free that happens naturally that she was trying to tap into, and find ways to convert it to energy that we can use. So you're not paying electric bills, you're not using gas, all the things, right? clean energy we can all use, and it could be totally free. And that would put corporations out of business. So just think about it. Who might want her gone? Who might want her gone? And there's a young man, he was converting plastic, I believe it was plastic, into energy. And he disappeared for a little while. Now he's not, I don't even think he's out of high school, to be honest with you. Um, but he was able to successfully convert plastic to energy. And he went MIA for a minute, but it was his mother taking him off the grid for protection. So we need to be paying attention to what's happening with all these scientists, because we need the smart folks to educate the dumb folks that they're going to bring along, because they're killing our education system. Also, look at the regime, look at the people who are running this country right now. They're a bunch of dumbasses. So they want a country just full of dumbasses. Pay attention, pay attention. All right, so Californians, I need you to pay attention too. I need you to listen up. I need you to watch this. I have not completely finished, so I'm not going to talk about it in this episode. The debate, the gubernatorial debate that took place this week, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to do an episode strictly about that. But here's what I want to say. My first initial thought is, and what I observed. What I saw was the billionaire on that stage, Tom Steyer. The one person he talked to on that stage was the Sheriff Bianco that I brought to you last week, that in his department and on his watch currently has what they're calling, what these correctional officers were calling, a fuck club. Currently has that investigation going on. He also has a bunch of grape kits that have not been processed, some of which have allegations of some of the officers in his department that have not been touched. So the two candidates that embraced each other on that stage, shook hands, were buddy-buddy talking to each other, were the billionaire who has invested in private prisons and detention centers, and the Sheriff Bianco, Republican, who has the fuck clubs and the corrupt correctional officers and the sheriff's department that is in the middle of a standoff, swiping on Bumble, and has over 1,000 grape kits that have not been touched. Those are the two that connected on that stage. And I want to say to Californians, pay attention to that. And then you have Becerra off to his own, taking his notes. Here's the thing I want you to pay attention to, Becerra. I said this last week, he is the most qualified. He was in California state legislators. He was one of California state's legislators. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say today. I'm kind of tired. So he was that. He became the attorney general. He went to bat for the state of California to make sure that we can maintain our sanctuary state status, and he won. He went to the Supreme Court and he won for the state of California. Then he was elected to Congress, and then he became the HHS secretary under Biden. This individual has the experience. I hadn't even gotten to the fact that he's a Harvard graduate. So he has experience, he has education. He's not flashy. He's not that flashy at all. He's not, you don't see a whole bunch of memes, coming out of his office like you see with Gavin Newsom. Love Gavin Newsom, but I need y'all to recognize that is not Gavin Newsom. That is a young Latino lady that is running his social media account. That is not Gavin Newsom's first thoughts, all these memes that y'all getting all excited about. It's not him. So all we need to do is put some sparkle dust on Uncle Becerra, and let's get him elected. Okay? Moving right along. On C-SPAN, on C-SPAN. What we've seen here recently on C-SPAN is a lot of MAGA folks, a lot of Republicans calling in and expressing their buyer's remorse. Okay, confessing, expressing, apologizing their buyer's remorse. Some have voted, some were triple Trumpers, some just this last time, some just the first time, but they're calling in. Now, the call that stood out to me is a caller called in and said, look, no one has said this yet, so I need to say it. And he said that his parents worship and pray to the felon, not God. And then, oh God, protect the felon. No, they pray to and worship the felon, meaning the felon, they believe the felon is God. The felon is their God. Do y'all hear me? And then so when the felon posted that photo of him as, I don't know, Jesus with the light coming out of his hands like he was healing someone, he said his parents went wild because this is what they already believe. They believe he is God. Now listen, all you MAGA folks, all you Republican folks out there, I know some of you watch my page. I didn't know y'all were that deep into it. I really didn't. I thought, I was like, okay, this is like, cult behavior. Yes, this is a cult. I see that. But I thought that y'all still believed in God. You mean to tell me that y'all actually believe this 34 felony count, felon, sexual predator, habitual liar, malignant, narcissist, psychopath that is deteriorating, that is falling asleep every 5 minutes, that is slurring his words, that is shitting on himself, that needs a walker in the White House. They just won't show you those photos, but I have seen them. That's your God? Then why isn't he healing himself? Why isn't he intelligent? Why doesn't he know all and see all? Why does he always tell you 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks for this and that? Shouldn't he know everything and exactly when it's going to happen if he is God? Why do we ever have a Taco Tuesday? Isn't your God confident in what he is doing? Why is his hand deteriorating? Why is he rotting from the inside out if this is God? That one blew my mind. That one blew my mind. Y'all need to ask yourself some questions. Look in the mirror and ask yourself some questions. Just seriously, look back on your life and ask yourself, where did you go wrong? Because, okay, moving right along. Also, MAGA people, listen up. Republicans, listen up. Another thing, evangelicals, white Christian evangelicals, listen up. Another thing that I want you to know, the Heritage Foundation and the CPAC organization, the big conference that they have, CPAC conference and the Heritage Foundation, who is actually behind a lot of this stuff, who wrote and is pushing through Project 2025. I bet you didn't know this. They are yet another thing that is not America first. Their ideas and their money come from where? Hungary and Russia. Not conservative Republican Americans. They're not the conservative American think tank that you thought they were, because their ideology, their thoughts come from Hungary. They come from Putin. They come from Viktor Orban, who just lost in Hungary. So not even them. They're not even America first. Your precious Heritage Foundation and CPAC. Y'all need to open your eyes. Y'all need to wake up. Wake up. Stop letting these people pull the wool over your eyes. Wake the fuck up. Moving right along. This week, we saw a nuclear chief was removed from the Pentagon because he went to a bar and decided he wanted to share some secrets about war. The nuclear chief went and sat at a bar in DC and was sharing secrets on camera, didn't know he was on camera, to, I don't know, I guess some young lady he was trying to impress, and she recorded the entire thing. Yet another reason why we need more women in politics. Sugar babies. There was a sugar baby that was working for a DHS, and she was outed by her billionaire daddy. Why? Because her daddy, her sugar daddy, got upset because she was not cooperating with his sugar daddy needs. And she was asking for more and more money when he had already shelled out 40 grand in a matter of 2 to 3 months. So she got busted. He went and told the DHS what she had been doing, and he busted his little sugar baby. Let me tell y'all something. Just pay attention to what I have just said. I have gone through our HHS secretary, our health secretary is collecting the peni of rodents. The peni of rodents. The Heritage Foundation is not the conservative American think tank that you thought it was. They are taking their ideology, their ideas, their Project 2025 comes from Russia and Hungary. A nuclear chief went and sat at a bar and shared war secrets. And we had we probably have many more sugar babies serving in DHS. And because she was trying to get an extra pair of shoes and some more money towards her rent, she got outed. If this dude wouldn't have gotten pissed off, she would have never been outed. This is the most corrupt, unserious, incompetent, uneducated, inexperienced, insane administration. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. I seriously, if I just sat and thought of what the dumbest person would do, because I'm intelligent, I would not be able to think of all this shit that a dumb person would do. Okay, moving right along. Let's wrap this up. Congress. Okay, so this one is a both sides situation. This is one of those times, Republicans that are listening, or converted Republicans, or whatever you call yourself. This is one of those times where it's a both sides situation. So Congress finally released a list of Congress members that have been accused of sexual misconduct. There were 14 Democrats and 12 Republicans on the list. So, okay. So, I mean, we just heard about Swalwell, right? And Tony Gonzalez just resigned. Matt Gaetz, of course, is on the list. Madison Hawthorne, I saw on the list. Corey Mills out of Florida is on the list. But again, 14 Democrats and 12 Republicans. 18 million of taxpayer dollars. 18 million of your taxpayer dollars have gone to pay off and settle complaints from claims in regards to sexual misconduct. So those staffers, those people, those young people who are coming to Congress to learn, to do the internships, etc., to learn under these people that they respect and they regard as professionals that are preying on them. The list has been kept hidden until now, and 18 million of our taxpayer dollars were paying to settle these complaints. We had another Taco Tuesday. Okay. So that wraps up everything that I wanted to share that happened this week. But here's the last thing I want to say to you. There's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of information to take in, and it's really, really important. I'm going to post a previous episode that I've posted, just a friendly reminder to take care of yourselves because there's a lot of shit happening every day around us and then to us. And you're dealing with your own personal issues, your own financial issues, your own issues at work, your own issues within your family, within your relationships, etc. And then on top of that, there's chaos around the world. There's chaos in this country. There's chaos in the streets. I hadn't even gotten to the stuff that I've seen in regards to what just humans are doing against other humans. I hadn't even gotten to that. So take care of yourselves, people. Find some quiet moments to yourselves. Treat yourselves to just a little quiet time, whether that's I don't know, sauna, massage, walk in the park, a tea, a latte, a coffee, a conversation with your kid, playing in the park with your kid. Just something to totally take your mind off of this bullshit because it's a lot and it's very easy to get inundated by all this shit and it just take your stress levels up. Okay, so take a deep breath, release, decide what you're going to do for yourself and do that shit. Make sure you do that shit. Take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you all soon.